Don't think she's a pretty nurse. In fact, she is a snake-hearted woman. The old man in the bed needs more oxygen, but she reached out and turned off the oxygen valve. Then she picked up the oxygen tube and showed it to the old man. She cuts off the remaining oxygen with an orchid finger gesture, with a smile of satisfaction on her face. The next moment the old man died of oxygen deprivation. After she succeeded, she tested the old man's pulse with her hand. Then she started to play nice, shouting for a doctor in the corridor. The old man was dying and needed to be rescued. Everyone was in a hurry to save him. Mary stood by the door and watched as if nothing had happened. Then she leaves with a smile on her face. She had a pretty face, but a vicious heart. A week later, she took a new job as a nanny, looking after children with bad legs. Her new employer, David, was handsome and rich. Mary couldn't take her eyes off David at dinner. She was jealous of the love and marriage between them. One day her best friend comes to the house. Lisa and her best friend were talking about Mary. She felt that since she had come to the house, she was taking her place in many things. Because Mary had applied for the job on her own, she kindly reminded Lisa, if it doesn't work out, then someone else will. All this was overheard by Mary. Then she tampered with the child's crutches. That's when Lisa heard her son shouting. She rushed outside the house. She saw her son fall to the ground. Lisa blamed Mary for not watching her son and letting him fall and get hurt. The son was speaking up for Mary. He had nothing to do with his fall. In the evening, Lisa apologized to Mary for her bad attitude during the day. Mary said that in her position as a mother, she could understand what Lisa was going through. Maybe it was because Lisa was under a lot of stress at work. She wanted to prepare a tea for Lisa to relieve her stress. Lisa didn't take it seriously and just agreed. It turned out that Mary had already started her plan. She brought Lisa her usual stress relief tea. What Lisa didn't know was that the tea had been drugged. She couldn't walk without feeling energized. The first thing she did when she got home was sleep. Mary looked at Lisa sleeping on the sofa. She had achieved her goal. Then suddenly there was a knock at the door. Mary opens the door and the person who comes in is the child's personal doctor. She had come especially to bring the crutches. When she saw Mary, she thought she looked familiar. For a moment she couldn't remember where she had seen her before. Because of the doctor's words, it made her feel uneasy. In the evening, Mary came to the doctor's house. She took the doctor's hand from behind and injected him with the poison. It turned out that she had killed the old man in the hospital. It was the same doctor who had rescued the old man and had seen her. Now Mary has to get rid of the doctor first. She then returned to her room and continues with her next plan. She used a voice changer to pretend to be a man and chat with Lisa online. She poses as a parent member of a patient support group. She wanted to find out what Lisa was thinking. Lisa didn't suspect anything. The day Lisa's best friend came over to play, accidentally spilled a drink on David. When David took off his clothes, Mary was captivated by David's toned body. She said she would take David's clothes to the cleaners, and that's when her best friend walked over to her. The nanny took her male employer's clothes and sniffed them. The smell of the clothes made her feel good, and the lady's best friend walks by and sees what's going on. Mary sensed that someone was there. When she came out, she found that the person had gone away. Later in the evening, Mary finds David. She started to stir up trouble by telling David Lisa was talking to another guy on the internet. David, who loved his wife dearly, didn't believe her. She hugged David and comforted him. The next day she started to talk badly about Lisa to David again. Every day Lisa woke up late and didn't know how to take care of her family, no matter what she said. It didn't shake the deep bond between them. At the fridge, Mary tried to make physical contact with him with her hands. That's when Lisa called out to David. She told David that she had been having a hard time. She felt like she was trying to sleep every day. David felt sorry for Lisa. He told her to stop playing with her phone. More rest should help. At this point, Mary brought her stress relief tea. She told Lisa to drink it quickly. Because of the chronic consumption of this poisonous tea, Lisa would fall down the stairs without knowing it. She went back to sleep. After work, Mary deliberately brought David into the living room. David came over and saw that Lisa was asleep. Not wanting to disturb Lisa, he picked up Lisa's phone, but saw the warm text message on it. He put the phone down and wondered what he was going to do. When she woke up, Lisa also saw a text message from a stranger. He alerted Lisa that someone was pretending to be his own personal name in the Mutual Aid Society. Private messaging these parents. Don't listen to this person's rumors. Lisa wanted to get to the bottom of the problem. She and the man arranged to meet in a cafe. When they met, he said he hadn't been chatting with Lisa online. He took out the photos on his phone and showed them to Lisa. Everything was a deliberate deception. The man comforts Lisa after they part. David in the car saw the scene clearly. On the other hand, Lisa's best friend arrives at the house. Since the last time she saw Mary sniffing David's clothes, she knew that Mary was up to something, but didn't tell Lisa about it. She told Mary that if she was going to do anything, something bad for the family, as her best friend, she wouldn't stand for it.
Is that a threat?
It's a warning.
After saying that, her best friend was on her way out. Mary had a big glass and hit her from behind. Mary then took her to the car, took the drugs and injected them into her hand, faking a suicide scene. When David came home drunk at night, Mary looked at his drunken state with a happy smile on her face. She took the opportunity to help David to his room. The nanny helped her drunken employer into his room. She unbuttoned the man's shirt, trying to take the place of the lady of the house, drunk and sober. David pushes the woman away, very assertive attitude. Mary was upset, saying that if David needed anything later, she would be in the room at all times. She then left the room. The next day they met as if nothing had happened. It was as if nothing had happened last night. David went to work as usual. Lisa, lying on the sofa, woke up. The poison had left her in a bad state of mind. She went into the kitchen to clean her glass of water. To her surprise, she found traces of the drug. Still not sure what happened, so she went to Mary's room. The bed was covered in books, all the instructions on how to use the poison. Then she found a pile of poison under the bed. It turned out that she had been poisoned by Mary all along. Then suddenly she heard a noise outside. She hurriedly put the drugs down and left the room. When Mary saw Lisa, she didn't expect her to wake up so early. She thought Lisa hadn't slept well. She made a new bottle of tea and gave it to Lisa. She told her to drink it so she could get some rest, so that Mary wouldn't get suspicious. Lisa took a sip from her cup of water. After watching her send her son away, Lisa then went to Mary's room. She recorded evidence on her mobile phone. She was going to take this evidence to the police and call David to tell him about Mary's plot. Just as she reached the stairs, Mary came back and saw her. Suspecting that Lisa already knew about her, she threatened Lisa that if she wanted to see her son, to leave her bag and phone and take her there. Lisa was worried about her son's safety. She did as she was told and followed Mary to the car. Not long after the two left, David arrived back. He had his phone and saw the video Lisa had taken.
And she's been drugging me for weeks. So today I'm shooting video evidence of Gwen's room, just in case something happens to me.
On the other hand, Lisa got out of the car. Lisa rushed into her room looking for her son. She looked from room to room and found no sign of him. Mary said that if she hadn't lied to her, then she wouldn't have lured Lisa here. There was one purpose. She was going to kill Lisa. Then she would take Lisa's place and live with David. She pinned Lisa down as they fought. She slapped her neck so hard. Lisa, who was about to die, reached for a kettle from the side and hit Mary on the head. She almost died at Mary's hands. She opened the door and finally escaped. Then she drove away quickly. And then, Lisa and David with their son. The family goes on a happy trip to the countryside. And that's the end of the story. Watch it if you like.